Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Leaf peeping season is almost here.
Oh.
Is that an uncomfortable phrase?
That is.
I love it though. According to Mixed Book, Hocking Hills is a top 10 fall foliage location in the United States.
Interesting.
I've been wanting so bad to go down to Hocking Hills for the fall colors, but I'm afraid it's going to be a madhouse because a lot of people love it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like, I do love it when it starts to change around here.
Yes, same. I'm excited for it.
It's beautiful.
And the weather is cooling down, and that means just a few more weeks for the Square is Where in downtown Dayton. The end of Summer Bash will be next Friday on Courthouse Square. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been good for folks who work downtown because it gives them something to do on their lunch break. But they'll be back next summer, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Something to look forward to.
Yeah. And if you love pretzels, I'm looking forward to this. We've got the festival just for you. The Germantown Pretzel Festival will be this weekend at Veterans Memorial Park. Okay, do you prefer cheese or mustard?
Cheese. Nacho cheese for sure.
Nacho cheese?
Cheddar, whatever the cheeses they use.
Some dippables?
So good.
Oh,
yeah, I like mustard though too.
Yeah, those look baller.
Some beer cheese.
I would probably eat like 20 pretzels.
Yeah, I could crush some pretzels.
Yeah.
It pains me to talk about the situation downtown. The aspect of us looking for and trying to find the individuals responsible for this situation has been made easier by the fact that the mayor's office and the commission has approved technology that will assist our police force in bringing those individuals and that individual to justice.
You just heard from Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims responding to yesterday's shooting in downtown Dayton near the Levitt Pavilion. We're learning more information this morning.
Officials say a suspect in the area of Jefferson and 4th Street here on the map shot 2 people just after 5:30. Now those 2 are recovering in the hospital now. City leaders say they are confident in their efforts to find the suspect.
Levitt Pavilion addressing the shooting on Facebook. They want to reiterate it happened near the pavilion, but not at the venue. They say, quote, "Our hearts are with the 2 individuals injured and hope that they recover quickly. We've worked very hard over the last few years to create a safe and welcoming space at the Levitt Pavilion, Dayton, and will continue to do so with the help of Dayton police and our community."
Well, yesterday was significantly cooler. Today, significantly warmer. It's kind of a yo-yo in terms of temperatures. We're 5, 10, 15 almost degrees warmer comparatively. That puts us upper 50s. So not exactly the pinnacle of warmth, not exactly the pinnacle of cool, just kind of somewhere, frankly, around average. As for today, if you're putting the kids on a bus, no issue. We are talking about
I also spoke with the mayor of Piqua on Tuesday evening, who told me that in her opinion, she thinks it's time to stop the burning of these lithium-ion batteries at the training facility, at least until the city's meeting with the Ohio EPA on Thursday. Back to you.
Dayton Public School Board President speaking exclusively with Dayton 24/7 now about the concerning video spreading on social media. This footage shows former DPS employee running after a 3-year-old boy with autism. He hits the boy in the head, knocking him to the ground, then picks him up upside down. Interim Superintendent Dr. David Lawrence held a meeting with parents from Rosa Parks Early Learning Center on Monday night, where media was not allowed inside. Solis Coulter spoke exclusively to the board president and asked if the board lost faith in Interim Superintendent Dr. David Lawrence.
I don't think the board has lost faith. I think you have to remember that this is a community-based organization. It would be unfair for 7 individuals to make a decision without listening to the community, to the employees, to the parents.
We will have continuing coverage on this on air and on our website, Dayton247now.com. You can find the latest update on the crisis in the classroom section of our website.
At least one child is recovering this morning after a school bus crash in Harrison Township. It happened just before 8 a.m. yesterday here at Macy Street and Philadelphia Drive. Montgomery County Dispatch says it involved one car and the school bus. Children were on the bus at the time. Crews took one child to the hospital. This is still under investigation.
Gas prices are the highest they've reached this year, topping $3.88 a gallon nationwide, according to AAA. And that's here in Ohio is about $3.61 a gallon. Still trending high for this time of year. Dee Gatton joins us now with the reason behind the trend.
Experts say the high gas prices are largely due to oil prices pushing past $92 per barrel. The president of Lippau Oil Associates, Andrew Lippau, says over the summer, due to the hot and humid weather, especially in Texas and Louisiana, refineries have not been able to process as much crude as they'd like to increase the supplies of gasoline and diesel fuel. Then there's a strain on the electric grid to supply power to those refineries. And on top of that, he cites refining problems on the West Coast.
When Hurricane Hillary came up along the West Coast, we had some power outages that impacted on refinery operations. And now we're faced with scheduled seasonal maintenance at a very large refinery in Los Angeles. And all of these events have conspired to keep inventories at their lowest level since last October, and prices have been rallying.
Because of these heat-related issues, there's a lot more maintenance and issues that people have to deal with, and that can have effect on oil and gas prices as well.
Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told CNBC on Monday that she expects energy prices will stabilize. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Gatton.
Kraft Heinz issuing a recall for more than 83,000 cases of Kraft singles due to a potential choking hazard. The company says a thin stripe of film might stay on the slice after the wrapper is removed. At least 6 people reported gagging or choking, but so far no one reported any injuries. If you need to return your cheese, you can take it to the store for an exchange or refund.
A Beaver Creek couple making history. Just yesterday, Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Bowman and Colonel Richard Bowman joined the 2023 Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. The couple is recognized for their dedication to the community after losing their home in a devastating fire in 1994. They helped establish the Beaver Creek Township Fire Department Auxiliary. They provided emotional support for firefighters and victims. And that's not all. In 2020, the couple helped the Greene County Public Health Department administer over 40,000 COVID vaccines. Congratulations to the Bowmans and the other inductees as well. What a great couple.
Great.
Yeah.
Our time right now is 5:11. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
With a government shutdown looming, big questions remain about how America can get its spending under control. Just ahead, Scott Thuman has the latest from Washington.
You're watching Your Day. A live look this morning from the Capitol, where less than 2 weeks for Congress to try to avoid a government shutdown. And it's all boiling down to spending.
The national debt now currently sits at an all-time high. Chief political correspondent Scott Bowman explains why many say it's gotten out of control.
As the threat of a shutdown looms,
nobody wins in a government shutdown.
I mean, I'm really worried we can't get any budgets out.
The worries over government spending also reaching a fevered pitch.
On behalf of the American people, we know inflation is one of the top concerns. We have to rein in this reckless, out-of-control spending that we've seen under the Biden administration.
A recent Treasury Department report shows the U.S. borrowed $1.5 trillion in the first 11 months of fiscal year 2023, meaning the country is on track to borrow twice as much as last year, according to the nonprofit Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. In an interview for Full Measure, committee president Maya McGuinness warned America's spending habits are dangerously going in the wrong direction. What may appear out of control is the national debt. How do we ever dig our way out of that?
There are times it makes sense. When we are in an emergency, like COVID or a huge recession, we absolutely should borrow. There are times when it does not make sense, like the huge growth spurt we had before we went into COVID under President Trump, or the inflationary period we've been having since COVID under President Biden.
And it's not hard to predict future problems.
We have automatic growth in Social Security, Medicare, other healthcare programs, and now interest on the debt, which are leading to huge structural imbalances that are only going to grow going forward.
But there's concern neither Democrats nor Republicans are willing to make the changes needed to stop this fiscal slide.
If we don't get our act together, we will be a weaker country, and American families will pay a real price in terms of their economic security, their opportunities.
The clock now ticking loudly, September 30th, fast approaching. In Washington, I'm Scott Thuman.
Good morning. We are waking up to temperatures going to be in the 50s. It is going to be relatively a comfortable day for today. We're pointing out that our highs today should be warmer than yesterday. Not exactly, record breaking, but certainly on the warmer side. We're going to be in the low 80s, which frankly is one of those temperatures that as long as you don't have a lot of humidity, it can be quite enjoyable. However, you're probably going to be using the AC at a certain time, especially considering the overnight lows have not dropped. So unlike a couple nights ago where it was in the 50s when we woke up and had that crispness to the air, this is lacking that. It's not going to be, too hot, too humid, but it is definitely lacking that little bit of something just to make you feel very comfortable outside. Now, tomorrow, I think we're going to be cranking up the ACs because it's going to be in the middle 80s. And, oh yeah, what's today? Forgot. Oh, hold on. There it is. We got Alex's birthday up here, so decided to pop out some balloons for her and, yeah, make it look really good there for a second. Yeah, Nathan's hyped. Oh, man, I wish I could be hyped. I am just out of energy this morning. But you know what? We have to go to traffic. So let's do that. Right now, traffic situation is quiet. Haven't had any issues. Just a reminder, take it easy through the construction zones as you head out the door.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Our time right now. Just turn the temperature around, you'll get the age. Our time right now is 5:19. When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore. Just ahead, we celebrate a favorite in our love for the pizza.
You're watching Your Day.
It is time for Pet of the Day here on Your Day, and we got a Great Pyrenees 3-year-old that was rescued about a year ago. Goose joins us this morning. Goose sent in by Katie Richards. Goose is a noted sock thief. He's also a box destroyer, but he also likes his hike. I can tell you this much, I do like Goose because he sounds like a good old boy. As for today, temperatures are in the low 80s and we'll see plentiful sunshine, although we will likely see some pockets of clouds, much like we saw yesterday. We did see some clouds move in overnight. And because of that, that's one of the reasons why temperatures are a little bit warmer this morning. Then we do have a warmer air mass, but I really think it's that influence of those clouds that has kept us significantly warmer. As for today, it is going to be a sunshine-filled day at times, but it's still going to be cloudy enough that I don't think the sun's going to bake us, especially if we're, let's say, taking Goose or whatever your pet may be on a walk. As for traffic this morning, it is quiet thus far. Haven't seen any tie-ups or concerns as you head out the door.
A poll of 2,000 Americans shows the average respondent only gulps down 5 glasses of water every day. In comparison to the recommended 8, Gen Z respondents surveyed drink the lowest amount of water, consuming an average of 4 cups a day. In comparison, millennials drank 5 cups, while both Gen X and baby boomers surveyed drink 6. This survey was conducted by One Poll on behalf of My Muse, and it found 7 in 10 respondents said they would drink more water if it tasted better. Well, eating heart-healthy foods could also reduce dementia risk. That means plenty of whole grains, vegetables, fruit, and little saturated fat, sodium, and ultra-processed foods. A healthy cardiovascular system keeps blood vessels open, allowing good blood flow to the brain and reducing the risk of high blood pressure, stroke, and dementia. Well, 65% of moms use social media, 26% don't. And the results found that those who do are more than 4 times as likely to feel like a bad parent. This was conducted by One Poll in partnership with Intimina, and the survey found that when seeing other moms on TV or social media, respondents feel pressure to add things to their daily routines, like exercising, cooking, and waking up early. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
Today we celebrate one of the world's favorite foods. Let's hope your slice looks better than this one. Today is Pepperoni Pizza Day. Stock images never work. According to the National Day Calendar, pepperoni is the most popular type of pizza ever created. It is believed that pepperoni pizza was invented in 1889 to honor the Queen of Italy, Margherita of Savoy. Now, to celebrate, you can make it a pizza night with family or friends, maybe go out to a pizzeria or make one at home. Like, you know, I was always like a long time like Supreme or sausage, but like anymore, I just want pepperoni. I don't know. I'm just a simple man now.
I honestly will eat pretty much any kind of pizza.
Pepperoni is always the first one that goes because it's always you get like 4 cheese pizzas and everybody's like, we'll wait to the end for those. It's pepperoni because you get one of them and everybody's like, yeah, you know what? I could do that. Instead of like, you get one person would put like banana peppers or something weird on it. I know. I was just like, I want banana peppers pizza.
Yeah?
Any kind of peppers, really.
Anything for your birthday. That's what we're going to say all morning long. We're just going to enjoy this. Soak this up. Pizza party. That sounds like a great idea. Yes.
Who's ordering pizza?
Little Caesars only.
No. Why?
On this budget. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Our time right now is 5:26. Still to come.
One company is taking missions to space in a unique way. Stay tuned for how you can get involved.
The House Judiciary Committee set to hold a hearing to examine accusations the Justice Department has become politicized and weaponized. I'm Dee Dee Gatton in Washington. What legal experts expect to happen when the U.S. Attorney General takes the stand?
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Chris Evans says he's planning on acting less. He tells GQ he'd like to do more with his hands, like pottery or furniture making. Huh?
Dude, I'm telling you, if he makes a TikTok of that, the women will go wild.
Marriage is changing him already.
I was going to say, all he needs, the fisherman sweater that he always wears.
Yeah.
If he's
Love
doing
him.
pottery and that, millions of views.
Absolutely.
He's a sweater influencer.
He's a handsome man.
That he is. And we have an update on the Mexican aliens. Check this out. Doctors ran tests on the alleged alien corpse shown to Mexico's Congress. They say it belongs to a single skeleton. Scientists originally tried to debunk the discovery by claiming it was a combination of old human and animal bones.
Interesting.
Alex, it's happening.
They're here.
It's happening.
We finally have
Yes,
proof.
Men in Black is happening.
That's definitely an alien. You can't tell me otherwise.
Okay. No, I'm not going to try. Not going to try.
And Prince William is continuing his trip to the United States. Someone handed the Prince of Wales 3 I Love New York shirts for his kids.
And he's like, oh, this is
Thanks.
nice. Thank you, peasant. That's, I don't know. Yeah.
Everyone's
And
peasant.
everybody likes him, though. So, I mean, like,
Yeah,
unlike
that's
his brother.
true. Oh, that's actually really
So,
cute.
yeah,
That's
it was a nice gesture.
Absolutely. Right now, a live look of downtown Dayton. A local family is preparing to send their loved ones' remains into space.
Melena Brown joins us live. Melena, this is a historic trip with some famous DNA on board as well.
It is, Nathan. This flight includes the remains of the Star Trek creator of the original series, DNA from 3 U.S. presidents, and add Larry Rabb onto that list. He is a Dayton native who told his family to send him into space when he died. Larry will be on the Enterprise flight that the company Celeste will launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida later this year. They've been in the business of sending DNA into space since 1994. They've sent 20 missions to space, but this is the first flight that will go into deep space with human remains and DNA. A wonderful moment for families looking to honor a loved one.
A lot of the DNA people we see are people that want to fly their DNA along with their cremated remains of their loved one.
Right now, missions for this year and next year are booked, but the 2025 mission is open and you can reserve a spot today, which starts at around $13,000. On the company website, Celeste.com, you can read into just how they're able to make this possible. Back to you.
Good morning. We are going to wake up to temperatures in the 50s this morning, so a little bit of a change up from yesterday. The difference really comes into play during the second half of the day. Why? Because forget about the 70s that we saw the last 2 days. It's going to be in the 80s today, so it is going to be a warm day. Not brutally hot, but definitely on the warmer side. It is going to be, by and large, a mostly sunny to partly sunny day as well, so we're really not dealing with any type of heavy-duty weather. It's just going to be that little bit of warmth that is going to be the big change from the last 2 days. And you can read all about the extended period of warmer temperatures on our Facebook page. There I posted your weather forecast, so go there and check it out and make my bosses happy, or just make me less likely to get fired. As for this morning's commute, things are looking smoothly as you head out the door.
A man facing charges in a deadly road rage shooting in Harrison Township now pleading not guilty. Douglas Sutton faces several charges, including murder for the death of Gary Bailey. He's being held on a $1 million bond. His next court appearance is set for October 2nd.
Franklin City Schools releasing an update on a 12-year-old boy hit by a car yesterday. They say he's in stable condition. It happened just outside Franklin High School yesterday morning, just after 7. Dispatch says the boy was riding through a crosswalk on his way to school when a 17-year-old driver hit him. Police gave her a citation.
A live look now from our nation's capital. Today, the House Judiciary Committee will hold a hearing on a Justice Department oversight, and Attorney General Merrick Garland is scheduled to testify. Dee Dee Gatton joins us with what we can expect and talks with an area professor about the hearing. Dee Dee.
As legal experts have indicated, anytime you have a high-ranking member of the cabinet showing up, that alone is significant. The hearing will examine how the Justice Department has allegedly become politicized and weaponized under the leadership of Attorney General Merrick Garland. Garland is set to testify, and in June, Speaker McCarthy made him the latest target of a potential impeachment investigation.
I'm not sure they could actually point to a specific example of criminal conduct on behalf of the Attorney General, so I think they would have somewhat of a challenge to bring some kind of impeachment against him. And I just think it's an opportunity to find out or to discover more to see how Attorney General Garland runs the Department of Justice.
University of Dayton professor of law Thaddeus Hoffmeister says he believes Hunter Biden will come up, but the challenge is that he is currently being prosecuted and working his way through the criminal justice system. In another development, CNN reports new testimony from FBI and IRS officials disagree with claims from an IRS whistleblower alleging there was political interference in the federal criminal investigation of Hunter's taxes. Hoffmeister says Wednesday he expects Garland to speak on his philosophy and how he runs the Department of Justice. Reporting for the National Desk, I'm Dee Dee Gatton.
Check your fridge. 58,000 pounds of ground beef is being recalled for possible E. coli contamination, and Ohio is one of 3 states affected. American Foods Group is issuing the recall after a sample batch tested positive for the bacteria. People in Georgia, Michigan, and here in Ohio are encouraged to see if your beef has a specific USDA mark of inspection number. That's on your screen now. Establishment number 18078. If that's the number on your products, you should return them to the store or throw them out.
Local chefs coming together for a good cause. Last night, the Dayton Chef Challenge brought 12 chefs together to serve meals at Top of the Market. Now, check this out. Organizers raised over $34,000 for Miami Valley Meals, a nonprofit. We're going to bring quality meals to people facing food insecurity in our community. The big winner of the night, Chef Gavin St. Dennis. Congrats to him and everyone who participated.
Today, Greene County Public Health is opening up their 4th Little Pantry in Xenia and kicking it off with a food drive. It's part of the Healthy Eating Active Living program, or HEAL, designed to reduce obesity and chronic disease in Greene County. If you'd like to donate, you can between 2 and 4 today at the Public Health Building. The pantry is looking for items like canned veggies, fruit and protein, instant potatoes, mixes that say add water, nuts, and jerky. The pantry is also looking for household items. That includes treats and food for cats and dogs, baby diapers, hygiene items like toothbrushes and feminine products, and home supplies like garbage bags and plasticware.
Our time right now is 5:37. Don't forget, you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Going above and beyond, an athletic trainer at an area school stepping up for students and teachers. Today in Hometown Hero, Adam Arrow shares his selfless act.
Cincy trying to stay in the wild card race, and minutes highlights from Reds and Twins.
You're watching Your Day.
An athletic trainer going beyond the playing field. A Kettering Health employee did that and more.
As Adam Arrow explains, that's why he is a hometown hero.
This is athletic trainer Zachary Hibbard, and this is the Kettering Health Facebook page. Recently, he put together 40 buckets filled with emergency and first aid supplies for every classroom at Middletown Christian schools. Inside each one is a Stop the Bleed kit with instructions and a tourniquet. Also has those first aid supplies, snacks, water, and a survival blanket. Now, as far as why he went above and beyond to fill these buckets, he said, quote, "I wanted to take on this project because I work with these students and teachers every day, and I want them to be prepared in case of a natural disaster, shooting, or a long lockdown." He also said he wanted to show another way athletic trainers can be utilized at their schools and the importance of having them as part of the community. For his selfless efforts, I think Hibbard exemplifies what it means to be a hometown hero.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Good morning. Here's what it looks like right for now on the satellite, geez, on a Skycam. There we go, Nick. All right, it is a morning where we're waking up to, generally speaking, quiet conditions. Yet again, we are talking about more sun than clouds. Just a couple of areas where it may become more cloudy from time to time. But look at temperatures going from the 60s at 9 a.m. So yesterday, don't forget, we started out the morning with some of us in the 30s, at least Urbana was. And today, we're going to get up to around 80. Now, I'm not saying Urbana will definitely get up to 80, but if we do, that's a 50-degree temperature swing, or excuse me, 40-degree temperature swing or thereabouts. I mean, that's an incredible two-day spread, but that gives you an idea. We're talking about very, very dry conditions, and not just the atmosphere. Don't forget the ground is very dry as well, because we're now at the point where just shy of 2 inches below average for the month of September. And coming up at 10 a.m. or let's see, 9 a.m. When's our new show? 9 a.m. I will actually explain how the summer months have shaped up in terms of rainfall. So look forward to that and look forward to a pretty nice day.
Our time right now is 5:43. A confusing release in the Hoosier chase. Authorities in Indiana mistakenly releasing a murder suspect just ahead how this man got out.
You're watching Your Day.
It's simple. We have used this time as a tactical advantage for us We have used this time as the quietness of the situation to not further run him underground and send him running further than what we wanted him to.
Authorities in Indiana trying to explain the delay and working hard to track down a murder suspect mistakenly released from jail last week. 29-year-old Kevin Mason is a suspect tied to a fatal shooting in Minneapolis in 2021. The Marion County Sheriff's Office says it appears a records clerk is responsible for the release. The incident under investigation suggests the clerk believed she was correcting duplicate bookings and removed holds in Mason's file. That mistake wasn't caught by clerks until the next day. The Sheriff's Office says 2 clerks have been fired. Mason was taken into custody on September 11th. The accidental release was 2 days later.
And now a live look at the White House this morning, where they're announcing they've acting Labor Secretary and White House senior advisor are no longer going to Detroit this week for the UAW strike. Instead, they'll engage with United Auto Worker leadership and the automakers from Washington, D.C. The two had previously planned on traveling to Detroit early in the week at President Biden's direction to offer support for reaching a contract. The White House had described their role as supportive, not as intervening. A White House official says it'd be more productive for them to continue discussions from Washington and let the talks move forward.
The union representing Canadian auto workers at Ford has reached a tentative deal with the U.S. automaker, averting a possible strike of more than 5,000 members. The Canadian union, Unifor, was ready to go on strike Monday night until Ford made a last-minute offer extending talks by a day. So far, details of the deal haven't been released. The strike would have shut 3 of Ford's Canadian factories and closed a number of parts distribution centers. It's not immediately clear what impact this deal might have on the negotiations between the UAW and Ford, as well as General Motors and Stellantis.
Good morning. We are waking up to quiet conditions. I mean, I feel like a broken record at this point because it's now been basically about a week where we really haven't seen much in the way of rain chances, with the exception of Sunday evening. And, you know, Sunday evening wasn't exactly prolific for some of us. I know my backyard got a little bit wet, but it wasn't the big ticket item that we really could use. We do have a big ticket item right now moving through Missouri and Arkansas. That is going to miss our area, but we will get some clouds from that. So temperatures today, low 80s, warmer than yesterday. And that's, again, one of the reasons why maybe not concerning is the right word, but we're starting to get to the point where we're getting a little bit of a feedback. What I mean by that is because temperatures are warming, because it's dry outside, the ground begins to dry up, meaning that the next wave of warm and dry conditions becomes even warmer and drier. And that's one of the reasons why the last few days we've overachieved, if you will. The actual air temperatures aren't that particularly warm, but because that sun's hitting the ground is relatively dry, it's not having to evaporate any water, and it's getting warmer quicker. And that's the case for today and tomorrow, where it's going to be, instead of, let's say, low 80s both days, it'll be in the low to mid 80s for 1 or 2 of those days. And then for the rest of the forecast, it's in the low 80s. And we have one day in the upper 70s. We also have one day with balloons on it. And that is because, oh, Alex over here, I should say young Alex over here, she is celebrating a birthday. That was old Alex, not old Alex. Just making that point clear, Nathan. Thanks for that bus you're throwing me under. Speaking of buses, if you are traveling this morning, haven't seen any tie-ups or concern. No school buses quite yet on the roads, but there are some trucks.
Called you old, Alex. How about that? And a live look this morning from Cincinnati, where the Reds will try to win another series this afternoon when they meet the Minnesota Twins at Great American Ballpark. After winning Game 1 Monday, well, here we go. Game 2 of the series was a different story. It was a rough night for Cincy as they were shut out. The Twins grabbing a 7-0 victory. The Reds now move a game behind the Chicago Cubs for that final playoff spot. Now it's Greene Day, and Cincy will put Hunter Greene on the bump this afternoon. First pitch for the Reds and Twins is at 12:35. You can watch the game on Bally Sports.
And it is time for touchdown trivia. Scan the QR code on your screen to answer today's question. If you get it right, you have a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. One weekly national winner will get $5,000. Touchdown Trivia is sponsored by Thrush & Son. Again, scan the QR code on your screen to get today's Touchdown Trivia question. Good luck.
Our time right now, 5:50. Once you pop, you can't stop. But what about caviar Pringles? They are the caviar of chips already. Just ahead, we look at the latest TikTok snack.
Are they though?
They are.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where it could be a whole lot worse out here. There is not a lot of coolness in the air, at least comparatively to yesterday, but there's also definitely not a lot of humidity in the air. So frankly, for me, it's pretty comfortable outside. If you are waking up, though, may not be as great sleeping weather. I know the last few nights I've slept really well because get that cold air in place and just now, as for today, temperatures starting out this morning much warmer than yesterday. Reminder, Dayton yesterday was the only spot that actually stayed above 50 degrees. The rest of us were in the 40s, or even Urbana that was in the 30s. Since that point, it is warmed considerably, and today should be at least a handful of degrees warmer than yesterday. Now, I'm not thinking we're going to set any kind of records, but it's going to be warmer than average, so keep that in mind today. It is definitely going to be warmer, but we're still going to deal with that little bit of sunshine and some clouds. What can you say? It's quiet, and it'll stay quiet all the way through Monday.
The Powerball drawing is taking place tonight. The jackpot now sits at $672 million. That's the 10th largest prize in the game's history. Powerball says the odds of nailing the jackpot are roughly 1 in 292 million. You can find those numbers after 11 o'clock tonight right here on ABC 22.
You're now looking at one old fish. This is Methuselah. Scientists say it's the oldest aquarium fish in the world and likely older than originally thought. An Australian lungfish arrived at Steinhardt Aquarium in San Francisco in 1938. Until now, scientists estimated she's currently about 84 years old, but using DNA testing of a sample of one of her fins, they determined she's 92 years old and could possibly be up to 101. Wow.
Incredible. Last week we told you about NSYNC coming out with new music for the first time in 20 years. Now the Man Band is reuniting on the toy shelf. Check this out. Fisher-Price has released a Little People collector set featuring each member of the 90s boy band. It's taken us back to a better place with packaging inspired by the group's No Strings Attached album cover. The set is available on Amazon for $30. The listing says it includes fun, hidden details for fans to discover.
That's fun. iPhone users getting an update that might be a game changer to your voicemail. Starting Monday, Apple's latest operating system will allow messages to be transcribed while you're deciding whether or not you want to pick up that call. If an unknown number calls you, it will go straight to live voicemail when you have Silence Unknown Callers setting turned on. Now, if you can't answer that FaceTime call, no worry. Callers can now leave a video message, complete with emojis. Exchanging numbers is now easier than ever. You just bring your iPhones close to each other and voila.
Voila. Check out this treat. You're checking out TikTok.com. More than 10 billion people have viewed the videos online, snacking on Pringles and caviar. And now Pringles is hoping to cash in on the social media movement. It is teaming up with the caviar company to create a new product, the Crisps and Caviar Collection. The limited edition products went on sale yesterday. It will pair Pringles original sour cream and onion and barbecue flavors with white sturgeon caviar and its smoked trout roe. Prices start at $49 and go as high as $140 for the different selections.
Guys, this is like drinking champagne with
insane.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know.
You ever see the movie Sideways where Paul Giamatti's character is drinking like a $400, $500 bottle of wine out of a fast food cup and he's just slurping
I mean,
it?
you just got to live your best life. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would try it. I've always wanted to try caviar.
I don't know if I would want to spend that money on it though.
I'm not on a caviar budget.
No.
So, I mean, the caviar of our household are gummy bears.
Oh, that's a good caviar to have.
Let me tell you.
I would actually try it. I know a trout roe I like. The rest of the caviar,
It's an acquired taste, as they say. We do have a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m.
One late Dayton man is making history. Stay tuned for how after the break.
You're watching Your Day. Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's 3 quick stories to get your day started. Leaf peeping season is here. Ooh. And according to Mixed Book, Hocking Hills is the top 10 fall foliage location in the United States.
Wow.
A couple years back, we talked about leaf peeping on the morning show, and John Oliver picked up a clip because he's like, this is such a weird phrase.
That is a weird phrase.
It is a weird.
I've never, I mean,
there are worse things to end up on John Oliver for, but yeah, that was special.
that's fair. You know what?
Go peep.
It's cool.
Peep away.
It's exciting to see. The weather is cooling down and do not peep away. Just a few more weeks for the Square is Where in downtown Dayton. The end of Summer Bash will be next Friday on Courthouse Square.
Yeah, this is great. They're having live music. They're going to have a lunch bag, downtown dollars. The Square is Where has been a great new addition to downtown, especially for folks who enjoy their lunches out there.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah. Air it out a little bit, you know. Oh, that sounds weird, doesn't it? Clear out your brain. That's what I meant to say. Air it out, God. And if you love pretzels, we've got the festival for you, the Germantown Pretzel Fest. Oh yeah, it is this weekend in Germantown. Should be a great time. Do you prefer soft pretzels or hard pretzels?
Soft pretzels.
Me too. Soft pretzels are the greatest.
There's something special, you
and
know?
You know what? Auntie Anne's is the best. I hate to say it, but like there's
cinnamon sugar pretzels dipped in icing.
Oh, see, I'm the nacho cheese.
I do like the nacho cheese as well, but
I don't know. I know that there's like
it depends on my mood.
There's enough butter in there to kill Paula Deen, but I'm all for it. It's so good.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
It pains me to talk about the situation downtown. The aspect of us looking for and trying to find the individuals responsible for this situation has been made easier by the fact that the mayor's office and the commission has approved technology that will assist our police force in bringing those individuals and that individual to justice.
You just heard from Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims responding to yesterday's shooting in downtown Dayton near the Levitt Pavilion. We're learning more information this morning.
Officials say a suspect in the area of Jefferson and 4th Street, here on the map, shot 2 people just after 5:30. Those 2 are recovering in the hospital right now. City leaders say they're confident in their efforts to find the suspect.
Levitt Pavilion addressing the shooting on Facebook. They want to reiterate it happened near the pavilion, but not at the venue. They say, quote, our hearts are with the 2 individuals injured and hope that they recover quickly. We've worked very hard over the last few years to create a safe and welcoming space at the Levitt Pavilion, Dayton, and will continue to do so with the help of Dayton police and our community.
Good morning. Here's what we're looking at. Temperatures in the 50s pretty much across the board, exception Middletown. You are at 49 degrees, so there is just one cool spot as you head out the door. Now, if you are putting the kids on the bus, yesterday was a day you needed to layer up because it was quite chilly, especially if you were up in Urbana where it got down into the 30s. Now, if you're just about anywhere, I don't think you may need as much layering, but there could be a little bit. Temperatures 60s and 70s. We are going to be looking at a comfortable day, although warmer than yesterday. And you can read all about that and also check out some of the clips from yesterday, including Talk Like a Pirate Day, which Nathan and I took to the extreme. Alex, well, I think she attempted it or something along those lines. You'll have to see the video. She has integrity. Boy, what's that, Nathan? Not familiar. That's for this morning. We are looking at a quiet morning commute as you head out the door.
Right now, you are taking a live look from the International Space Station as a local family prepares to send their loved ones' remains into space.
Melena Brown joins us live now. Melena, how did the family make this decision?
Larry Rabb's wife said that he was always ready for an adventure, so now he'll be taking on the final frontier as his ashes will be on the first ever deep space memorial flight in December. Larry passed away in January. He spent 25 years practicing law in Dayton and loved UD basketball and golfing, but his wife said he had an interest in everything. That included space. So his wife Sharon thought this would be a perfect way to honor his memory and an opportunity to remember him every time she looked up at the stars.
He said, well, if I had a chance, I'd go. And I stood there for a moment and I said, are you saying that you would leave me and go into space? I've been married a month. And he said, well, if I had a chance to go into space, I'd go.
Larry will be on the Enterprise flight that the company Celestis will launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida later this year, and they've been in the business of sending DNA into space for 2 decades. So coming up in a bit, I'm going to tell you about some of the famous people that are joining Larry on this flight and how you could potentially get involved. Back to you.
Thank you, Milena. Right now, Governor Mike DeWine has COVID-19. His office put out a statement saying he tested positive around 5:30 yesterday. On Monday, his mild head cold symptoms worsened to a 101-degree fever. He's currently resting at home. Governor DeWine and the Ohio Department of Health advise testing yourself for COVID-19 if you have a head cold, because that's a symptom of the latest strain.
Final testimony now wrapped in the third competency hearing for quadruple murder suspect Stephen Marlowe. Now the prosecution and defense will work on filing their briefs. Now, the 40-year-old faces several charges, including murder for allegedly killing 4 people last August in Butler Township. He had 2 other competency hearings earlier this year, but a judge ordered a third opinion. With this hearing finished, the prosecution and defense must file their briefs before October 10th. Then the judge will make a final decision on if Marlowe is set to stand trial.
People in Piqua worried about their water supply. City commissioners last night heard concerns about battery burning near the Great Miami River. Lydia Bice was at that meeting and shares people's reactions.
Residents told me that they plan to share their concerns about the air, water, and land here in Piqua, as well as their concerns for future generations if the burning of the lithium-ion batteries continues at this fire training facility here. Now, in Tuesday's meeting, one Piqua resident said that no matter how much research is done, she still doesn't feel safe with the burning of those lithium-ion batteries.
The only thing I would like to say, because I'm sure everyone's here to talk about the batteries as well, is that I don't need any type of scientific research to tell me that there's no good that can come from that being next to our fresh water.
Now, I also spoke with the mayor of Piqua on Tuesday evening, who told me that in her opinion, she thinks it's time to stop the burning of these lithium-ion batteries at the training facility, at least until the city's meeting with the Ohio EPA on Thursday. Back to you.
The Dayton Public School Board president speaking exclusively with Dayton 24/7 Now about concerning video on social media. This footage shows former DPS employee running after a 3-year-old boy with autism. He hits the boy in the head, knocking him to the ground, then picks him up upside down. Interim Superintendent Dr. David Lawrence held a meeting with parents from Rosa Parks Early Learning Center Monday night, where the media was not allowed inside. So Elise Coulter spoke exclusively with the board president and asked if the board has lost faith in Interim Superintendent Dr. David Lawrence.
I don't think the board has lost faith. I think you have to remember that this is a community-based organization. It would be unfair for 7 individuals to make a decision without listening to the community, to the employees, to the parents.
We will have continuing coverage on this on air and on our website, Dayton247now.com. You can find the latest updates on the Crisis in the Classroom section of our website.
A Beaver Creek couple making history. Just yesterday, Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Bowman and Colonel Richard Bowman joined the 2023 Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. The couple is recognized for their dedication to the community. After losing their home in a devastating fire in 1994, they helped establish the Beaver Creek Township Fire Department Auxiliary. They provided emotional support for firefighters and victims, and that's not all. In 2020, the couple helped the Greene County Public Health Department administer over 40,000 COVID vaccines. Congratulations to the Bowmans and to the other inductees as well.
Yeah, doing good stuff there in the community. Love to see it. Our time right now, 6:08. Don't forget to get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
A classic jeweler here in the Miami Valley now under new ownership. In minutes, the friends who made the purchase and their plans for the Dayton staple.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. So far, so quiet on our Skycam this morning. It is one of those days where there's not much on the horizon other than a couple clouds, and you can see those clouds mainly across the northern half of our area, but the showers will remain well to our north. Maybe, just maybe, you could get a sprinkle across the northern part of our counties. Meanwhile, got a couple of showers and thunderstorms near Florida. Another batch of rain in the center United States, neither of which is likely to affect us. So effectively, here we go again. More passing clouds for today. Difference between yesterday and the day before. Temperatures continue their warming trends. So go back to 2 days before. We were in the mid-70s yesterday, mid to upper 70s, and today low 80s. So we're chugging along here. I don't think it's going to get too hot, though. At the peak, we're only talking mid-80s, which is about a half dozen degrees above average for this time of year. Meanwhile, traffic is fairly quiet this morning. Starting to see things pick up, but that's pretty usual. No major issues on the roadways, though.
Our time right now is 6:13. Today in Grant Me Hope, we introduce you to a 9-year-old who loves to read and loves gymnastics. Just ahead, why she wants to be a teacher and what adoption means to her.
You're watching Your Day. At any given time, there are more than 600 children in foster care here in Montgomery County. The goal is always to reunite those children with their families, but the sad truth is some of those kids can never go back home, and now they are up for adoption.
Dayton 24/7 Now has teamed up with Grant Me Hope to help, and this morning we want to introduce you to Hazel from Claremont County, who right now is looking for a family.
Hi, my name is Hazel, my age is 9, and my grade is 4th. My favorite thing is gymnastics, and my favorite thing to do in it is the straddles and the splits and cartwheels and back bend. I've been doing gymnastics since I was 6. I'm really good at gymnastics now. I was in the cheer squad. You do round off in gymnastics and cheer, and then the shadows and cheer and gymnastics. You mostly do everything that's in gymnastics and cheer, but except a few things. I like chapter books, but I'm working on getting glasses because I have to squint to see now. I really like reading. I'll read any book except like the Bible because it's kind of hard. I'm a good reader. My favorite subjects in school are science, history, math, reading, and my favorite thing to learn about is space. I want to be a teacher because I think I would be really helpful in school. I would like to teach math. I've already done addition, subtraction. Now I'm working on multiplication, division. I'm the only one that my class that gets the best grades, and I get all A's most of the time. I'm really proud of my grades. I'm helpful, generous, nice. I have a lot of friends. I like huskies, mostly dogs, golden retriever. My ideal home would be mom, dad, go church, go out to eat, go to the park, pets, and siblings, but they have to be younger. It's important for family to be nice and loving. Adoption to me is a forever family. I hope I get to see you soon.
You can find out more about Hazel and other children who are up for adoption right now on Dayton247now.com.
Every week we're going to feature another child in our Dayton 24/7 Now's Grant Me Hope profiles.
Here's what we're looking at this morning. A surge of warm air now up in Kansas City. We'll kind of get the tip of the iceberg. It's going to go warmer. It's going to be above average, but I don't think it's going to be on the ridiculous end, the record-setting end. It's simply just going to be a little bit of warmer air for us, and kind of similar to what we saw earlier this week, just in the opposite direction. Earlier this week, we were in the low 70s, which was about 5 degrees below average, maybe some of us approaching 10 degrees below average. On the flip side, this next few days, we're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees above average. Starting today, low to mid 80s across the board, exception maybe the northern part of our area where it could be a little bit cooler. For Thursday, just a couple clouds. We're pointing out that the mornings will also warm to the upper 50s and low 60s, so it's not going to be that cold at night. Tomorrow, we're aiming for mid 80s. Again, that's about the point where you start talking about 8, maybe some of the southern parts of our area that do get into the mid 80s, about 10 degrees above average. But this isn't a pattern that suggests that we're going to be breaking records, tying records, shattering records. I think it's just a pattern that basically is going to be on the mild side. Certainly a good way to kick off a birthday week, or I guess birthday week going back that way. Anyway, Alex's birthday is today, so happy birthday to Alex. No rain up until Tuesday. Now, as for traffic this morning, it's a quiet morning commute. Haven't seen any issues on the roadways. Things are moving smoothly on all the major interstates and state roads.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, after the owner of an Oakwood-based jewelry store retired, a group of Daytonians is making sure the jeweler stays shining. Jim Grant, his wife Tisha, and Stephen Miles bought Jaff Jewelers, which has roots going back more than Jaffe Jewelers, which has roots going back more than 40 years. The trio has been great friends with the store's former owner for several years, so they say it just made sense to take over ownership. The store opened under the new leadership earlier this week. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com. Just click on the news tab and then select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:21. Digital producer Max waiting in the wings with our Facebook poll question coming up in minutes.
You're watching Your Day.
Time for Pet of the Day here on your day, where we get to celebrate your pets. And today we bring out Goose, who is a box destroyer, likes to go for hikes, and yeah, a gorgeous dog at that. A rescue dog, 3 years old, and rescued a year ago. And big thank you to Katie, not only for a gorgeous photo, but also we love that information. Whatever you guys could give us, if you send in your pets, whether it's what they like, what they don't like, or a weird fact about them, really helps in the morning, because I love fleshing out the dogs and talking about themselves more than the forecast. And the reason why is because, frankly, it's more of the same. A lot of sunshine and temperatures in the low 80s. Don't get me wrong, I love this weather, and I know a lot of us do for getting outside with the pets, but there's a certain point where I feel like a broken record at this point, where, frankly, you just wind me up, send me out on the air and say, hey, make with the weather boy. But, you know, it's going to be pretty nice outside. As for traffic, it's quiet this morning, so things moving smoothly here on, let's see, what's today, Wednesday? Well, it's Alex's birthday. That's what today is.
That's right, and that leads us right to our digital producer, Max. You got a great question today that it lends itself to this special day, right?
Absolutely. It's a very special day, Nathan. So happy birthday, Alex.
Thank
you.
You
know, it got me thinking, what is the best birthday gift you've ever received?
Okay, Alex turns right to me.
Yeah.
Have you figured this out?
No.
Okay, so mine, when I was growing up, my grandma her gift to us as her grandchildren would she'd make us any dinner we wanted. It'd be our dinner, and we could choose. She made the best Slovakian food. And so, like, you know, one year it'd be like chicken paprikash, which I loved. She would make brisket, but like the oven-baked brisket, and, you know, whole fixins with that. Plum butter dumplings was another one, classic, that I'd love to have. And, you know, it just meant so much to me. I don't remember a lot of toys that I got when I was a kid, but I always remember those meals. And to this day, when my wife asks me what I want to do for my birthday, it's just to have a nice dinner with my family.
That is so precious, Nathan. Oh, beautiful.
Want me to ruin this moment for everybody?
What's new, Nick? No.
21st birthday, I think it was that first beer that someone bought me. It may have been my parents who, you know, either gave me money for it, but it was just that's probably the first one where it was just like, I finally have hit the legal age. I don't have to worry about asking for a friend, and just meant a lot, like, at that point in my life. And now look at me, look at this, you know, inspired by beer.
Yeah, you are 90% beer, Nick. Alex, you got one?
No, I'm really struggling to think of a gift.
Max?
Just because I am someone who
gets a lot?
No, I'm just not a very materialistic person. Like, I just care about spending time with people more than anything. Like, I'm always awful at, like, giving people, like, a Christmas list every year. So, yeah. I just enjoy spending time with my family for my birthday.
Yeah.
So.
Max, real quick, what's yours?
I got a puppy when I turned 7.
Wow! Yeah, hard to beat that one, Max.
That's a great gift.
Good stuff, man. So chime in right now on Facebook. If you got a puppy, we want to hear about it. Max has the greatest gift of all time, apparently. Our time right now is 6:27, still to come.
One company is making space travel happen in a historic way. Stay tuned for details.
But first, here's Stacey Bell with America's Deals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Noki.
I've been doing a lot of research on security cameras because you have to keep your home and your family safe, and there's always a sacrifice until I found the Ola Smart Security Camera. There is nothing else like this on the market. You want to know what sets it apart? The artificial intelligence, AI. You can talk to this camera, it understands you and answers you. I could say, Ola, did Danielle come home last night? It answers me and sends me a clip of her coming into the house. It can do that because it has body, face, and voice recognition. So you can program it to recognize your family members or friends who are constantly in and out of your house. It uses an app, so it's really easy to use. Another feature that we really like is the fall alert. If you have older parents and it's hard for them to maybe get into and out of your house, Ola will alert you if they fall. You can talk to them, you can send help, and tell me this, who isn't worried about porch pirates? there's also a package alert, so you know exactly when your packages were delivered. They really thought of everything. Ola was developed by ex-military officials, and every safety feature that you could think of in a smart camera, they really did it here. Right now, we're offering 30% off on the Ola Smart Security Camera. Head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Chris Evans says he's planning on acting less. He tells GQ he'd like to do more with his hands, like pottery or furniture making.
Wow. You know what's interesting is Daniel Day-Lewis, when he wanted to first retire from acting, he became a cobbler doing shoes.
Really?
And then they pulled him back out of retirement for another movie.
He's going to get bored really fast. He's too good of an actor.
I don't know, though. Like, sometimes you just get kind of burnt out from it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
More power to him.
A lot of attention.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I'm going to knit sweaters when I get...
He can do that, and then we'll take his place and become super famous actors.
Yeah. I don't know if I want that. I think I'm good. And we have an update on Mexican aliens. I want to do this job instead. Doctors ran tests on alleged alien corpses shown to Mexican Congress. They say it belongs to a single skeleton, okay? Ooh. Now, scientists originally tried to debunk the discovery by claiming it was a combination of different bones of different creatures and stuff.
Human animal bones.
No.
Interesting.
I'm telling you.
That is an alien.
I think people are just in denial because it's so small.
Yeah.
But think, we're better off if we can drop kick them.
E.T. was small.
I'm just saying, if they're mean,
Nathan.
They're easier to fend off. That's all I'm saying.
Just a little kick of the foot.
Just a little kick and they're gone, okay?
And they're out of here.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out
there. And Prince William is continuing his trip to the United States. Someone handed the Prince of Wales 3 I Love New York shirts for his kids.
I mean, there are a lot worse things New Yorkers could do. But yeah, he's probably like, oh, This is jolly.
These probably have bed bugs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll take these right to the trash. But you know what? Yeah, whatever.
Right now, a live look over. Oh, sorry. I thought we were moving. Downtown Dayton, where a local family is preparing to send their loved ones' remains into space.
Melena Brown joins us live. Melena, this is a historic trip with some famous DNA on board as well.
It is, Nathan. This flight includes the creator of the Star Trek series, 3 U.S. presidents, and add Larry Rabb to that list. He's a Dayton native who told his family to send him into space when he died. Now, Larry is going to be on the Enterprise flight that the company Celestis will launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida later this year. They've been in the business of sending DNA to space since 1994. They have sent 20 missions to space, but this is the first flight that will go into deep space with human remains and DNA. A wonderful moment for families looking to honor a loved one.
A lot of the DNA people we see are people that want to fly their DNA along with their cremated remains of their loved one.
Right now, missions for this year and next year are booked, but the 2025 mission is open and you can reserve a spot today, which starts at around $13,000. So on the company's website, it's celestis.com. You can read on how they were even able to make this all possible. Back to you both.
Good morning. We are waking up to temperatures in the 50s, with the exception of maybe one or two of us that are now down in the 40s. But in general, we are warmer than yesterday, and we should be warmer during the daytime. Temperatures will be in the mid 60s at 9 a.m. and by 11 a.m. we should be able to get into the low 70s. So all in all, could be a whole lot worse, but worth pointing out that we are going to run above average for today. Yesterday, we were just about bang on average for this time of year. So again, not a bad morning to put the kids on the bus, but we're slowly slipping into fall, though it's more of a return to shoulder season than anything for today. As you head out the door, just a reminder, we are on social media, so go in there and check us out and chime in on our poll question. And if you are heading out the door, right for now, things are moving smoothly, 70 and 75. Carillon looking okay, 3rd Street as well as 40, all moving freely.
A man faces charges in a deadly road rage shooting in Harrison Township, now pleading not guilty. Douglas Sutton faces several charges, including murder for the death of Gary Bailey. He's being held on a $1 million bond. His next court appearance is set for October 2nd.
Franklin City Schools releasing an update on a 12-year-old boy hit by a car yesterday. They say he's in stable condition. It happened just outside Franklin High School yesterday morning, just after 7. Dispatch says the boy was riding through a crosswalk on his way to school when a 17-year-old driver hit him. Police gave her a citation.
Local chefs coming together for a good cause. Last night, the Diced in Dayton Chef Challenge brought 12 chefs together to serve meals at Top of the Market. Now, organizers raised over $34,000 for Miami Valley Meals, a nonprofit working to bring quality meals to people facing food insecurity in our community. The big winner of the night, Chef Gavin St. Dennis. Congrats to him and everyone who participated.
Today, Greene County Public Health is opening up their 4th little pantry in Xenia and kicking it off with a food drive. It's part of the Healthy Eating Active Living Program, or HEAL, designed to reduce obesity and chronic disease in Greene County. If you'd like to donate, you can between 2 and 4 today at the Public Health Building. The pantry is looking for items like canned veggies, fruit and protein, instant potatoes, mixes that say add water, nuts and jerky. The pantry is also looking for household items that includes treats and food for cats and dogs, baby diapers, hygiene items like toothbrushes and feminine products, and home supplies like garbage bags and plasticware.
Our time right now is 6:37. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Going above and beyond, an athletic trainer and area school stepping up for students and teachers today in Hometown Hero. Adam Arrow shares this selfless act.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
Look at this funnel cloud spotted by the chief meteorologist from our West Palm Beach station. The stall out front is dropping heavy showers and some strong storms. This was sudden and did not trigger a warning, but we're told it showed up on radar. And this bear apparently found a satisfying snack in this bird feeder in Michigan.
Listen to Off the Radar. New episodes every Tuesday. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where, I'm just looking over the morning and going, all right, it's perfect, get outside and run weather. This is what collectively one of my friends call PR weather. And the reason why is it's not necessarily cold enough that you need to bundle up, but it's also not warm enough that you're going to be busting out a sweat after just a couple of steps. As for today, temperatures low mid-50s for the most part. That's kind of where we expected things to fall because of the cool air that is currently in place. Now, that being said, it's going to turn warmer during the second half of the day. So what ends up happening is that cool, dry air turns into warm, not necessarily humid air, but it does pick up just a touch of humidity as those temperatures warm up, and it holds the ability to hold a little bit more water. Speaking of water, we're running just about 2 inches below average for the month of September, and it's been exceptionally dry summertime as well. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
An athletic trainer going beyond the playing field. A Kettering Health employee did that and more.
As Adam Merrill explains, that's why he is a hometown hero.
This is athletic trainer Zachary Hibbard, and this is the Kettering Health Facebook page. Recently, he put together 40 buckets filled with emergency and first aid supplies for every classroom at Middletown Christian schools. Inside each one is a Stop the Bleed kit with instructions and a tourniquet. Also has those first aid supplies, snacks, water, and a survival blanket. Now, as far as why he went above and beyond to fill these buckets, he said, quote, "I wanted to take on this project because I work with these students and teachers every day, and I want them to be prepared in case of a natural disaster, shooting, or long lockdown." He also said he wanted to show another way athletic trainers can be utilized at their schools and the importance of having them as part of the community. For his selfless efforts, I think Hibbard exemplifies what it means to be a hometown hero.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission to our app. We send a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Our time right now is 6:43. Cincy trying to stay in the wild card race, and minutes highlights from Reds and Twins.
You're watching Your Day.
We are looking at temperatures this morning across the country in the 50s and 60s for, the most part. A couple of us looking at Texas, and also Phoenix. Always fun to look at. Miami as well, with just how cool it is, or how warm it is comparatively. Of course, it's not that far off from winter, where we're going to be judging them and looking to them and saying, man, I wish I was there. Meanwhile, it's 56 in Dayton, 60 in Muncie, 59 in Columbus. So as you get closer and closer to home, again, it's going to be more or less around the average for this time of year, with the exception of the daytime. It should be just a few degrees above it. Not ridiculously hot, but warmer than average, is fair to say. Meanwhile, tonight, 60 degrees. Tomorrow should be able to get into the mid-80s. We'll call it partly to mostly sunny. Beyond tomorrow, it is going to be temperatures in the 80s up until maybe Tuesday. That's where also the next chance of rain is. And I was looking over September. We are just about 2 inches below average. So we could use a good little rain event here, whether it's the type of one that lasts all day or just a steady light rain. That would be perfectly ideal, just to give us some water back in the soil. But no rain today, so no raining on Alex's birthday parade, because things are going to be looking pretty good for that, as well as for the next few days as well. As for traffic, it's also looking pretty good. There is one incident at Edwin C. Moses Boulevard at Cincinnati Street. Other than that, everything else seems to be moving smoothly.
It's time for Touchdown Trivia. Scan the QR code on your screen right now to answer today's question. If you get it right, you have a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card. One weekly national winner will get $5,000. Touchdown Trivia is sponsored by Thrush & Son. Again, scan the QR code on your screen to get today's Touchdown Trivia question. Good luck.
And now a live look from Cincinnati, where the Reds will try to win another series this afternoon when they meet the Minnesota Twins at Great American Ballpark. Now, after winning Game 1 Monday, Game 2 of the series was a different story. It was a rough night for Cincy as they were shut out. The Twins grabbing a 7-0 victory. The Reds now move a game behind the Chicago Cubs for that final playoff spot. And it's Greene Day. Cincy will put Hunter Greene on the mound this afternoon. First pitch for the Reds and Twins is at 12:35, and you can watch that game on Bally Sports. And it's kind of hard to believe, okay, today, September 20th, we're pretty much 10 days away from October.
Yeah.
There was a famous Mets, I guess you could call him, who said, we're going to play serious October baseball. And the Reds are doing that. Who thought the Reds would be this
contenders at least?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's into football season. They're still contending. The Mets were out by like Memorial Day. It was ugly.
Yeah, the Reds have been one of the great baseball stories
They've
this
been
year.
killing it this year.
Yeah.
Cincy sports, man.
Yeah, you
Now
gotta
we
love
just
it.
need the Bengals to turn things around.
Bengals will be fine.
It's
I
early.
mean, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
They'll be fine. And FC Cincinnati, all that good stuff. It's a great
Yeah.
time to be a sports fan in Ohio, right?
It is. It really is.
Sorry, Nick, that you're a New Jersey, native and you have terrible sports teams, but we can relate at least.
You know what? I'm used to it by now, so I'm just used to misery. I'm used to looking at the TV going, well, that was a waste of 2 hours. And yes, 2 hours, because by the end of the third hour, I'm
Listen,
like, well, I'm here.
Aaron Rodgers was out. I can relate. Nick Chubb broke his leg in half.
Oh.
So
4 plays.
I know.
4 plays.
There are better days ahead, hopefully. Our time right now is 6:52. Rise and shine, taking a live look at the nice sunrise over the Gem City. Wow, look at those colors this morning.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, Nick's got to look at your forecast.
it pains me to talk about the situation downtown. The aspect of us looking for and trying to find the individuals responsible for this situation has been made easier by the fact that the mayor's office and the commission has approved technology that will assist our police force in bringing those individuals and that individual to justice.
You just heard from Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims responding to yesterday's shooting in downtown Dayton near the Levitt Pavilion. We're learning more information this morning.
Officials say a suspect in the area of Jefferson and 4th Street, here on the map, shot 2 people just after 5:30. Those 2 are recovering in the hospital this morning. And city leaders say they're confident in their efforts to find the suspect.
Levitt Pavilion addressing the shooting on Facebook. They want to reiterate it happened near the pavilion, but not at the venue. They say, quote, our hearts are with the 2 individuals injured and hope they recover quickly. We have worked very hard over the last few years to create a safe and welcoming space at the Levitt Pavilion. Dayton and will continue to do so with the help of Dayton police and our community. At least 1 child is recovering this morning after a school bus crash in Harrison Township. It happened just before 8 a.m. yesterday here at Macy Street and Philadelphia Drive. Montgomery County Dispatch says it involved 1 car and the school bus. Children were on the bus at the time. Crews took 1 child to the hospital. This is still under investigation.
A Beaver Creek couple making history. Just yesterday, Lieutenant Colonel Margaret Bowman and Colonel Richard Bowman joined the 2023 Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. Now, the couple is recognized for their dedication to the community after losing their home in a devastating fire in 1994. They helped establish the Beaver Creek Township Fire Department Auxiliary. They provided emotional support for firefighters and victims, and that's not all. In 2020, the couple helped the Greene County Public Health Department administer over 40,000 COVID vaccines. Congratulations to the Bowmans and other inductees as well.
Right now, you're taking a live look from the International Space Station as a local family prepares to send their loved ones' remains into space.
Melena Brown joins us live now. Melena, how did the family make this decision?
Well, Nathan, Larry Rabb's wife said that he always loved adventure, and so he's going to be taking on the final frontier as his ashes join the first ever deep space memorial flight that takes off in December. Now, Larry passed away in January. He spent 25 years practicing law in Dayton and loved UD basketball and golfing, but his wife said he had an interest in everything, and that included space. So his wife Sharon thought that this would be a perfect way to honor his memory and an opportunity to remember him every time she looked to the stars.
He said, well, if I had a chance, I'd go. And I stood there for a moment and I said, are you saying that you would leave me and go into space? I've been married a month. And he said, well, if I had a chance to go into space, I'd go.
Larry will be on the Enterprise flight that the company Celestis will launch from Cape Canaveral, Florida later this year. They've been in the business of sending DNA into space for the last 2 decades. Coming up in a bit, I'm going to share who's also joining the flight, a few names you might know, and how easy it is to get on one of these flights as well. Back to you.
Thank you, Melena. People in Piqua worried about their water supply. City commissioners last night heard concerns about battery burning near the Great Miami River. Lydia Bice was at that meeting and shares people's reactions.
Residents told me that they plan to share their concerns about the air, water, and land here in Piqua, as well as their concerns for future generations if the burning of the lithium-ion batteries continues at this fire training facility here.